The streets of Britain should not, of course, be where rogue states seek, find and assassinate critics who've escaped here for safety. Yet ITV News has evidence that agents from Iran are at work here, suppressing protests and free speech and silencing those who oppose the repressive regime back home. If you were watching last night, you will not have forgotten our report about a plot to assassinate two presenters from an independent Iranian news station, then based in London. But the problem, indeed the crisis, is much more widespread than this single incident. Tonight we hear from three of the many Iranians who've been threatened with kidnap and killing as Iranian agents operate at will in the streets of the UK.
Regime change in Iran, mullahs out of Iran. Regime change in Iran.
Free speech is a hallmark of democracy.
Iran, yes, mullahs, no.
But for the Islamic Republic, it threatens its rule, even from as far away as the UK.
They are attacking us. Help! Help!
Supporters of its regime resort to violence on Britain's streets. This woman was kicked to the floor.
We don't feel safe here in England.
Their agents also use surveillance to monitor any opposition.
What we see here, or what we hear here, is basically a tip of iceberg.
Aresh is a British Iranian who's worked for the NHS in this country for more than a decade. The most brutal of Iran's security forces left him for dead at a protest there last year. His life is still at risk, even at home in the Midlands.
They shoot you without any hesitation. They don't care about you. They want you dead. I've been advised not to come public with my real name by anti-terrorist police. Have camera at home and increase your security. And I don't even know who to trust.
And these are not idle threats.
When I go out, I think that maybe it's the last day of my life.
Roxy M. Hani sought refuge in England. A doctor, a scientist in the centre of London fighting for women's freedom in Iran. But her life is in danger here too. Direct threats have been made to her online and on the phone.
If you don't stop what you are doing, we are going to find you and do something to you that no one knows what would have happened to you. I would be kidnapped and back to Iran, and I will be executed.
15 credible kidnap and assassination attempts on British soil have been thwarted since the start of 2022, according to the security services.
The threat from Iran has got greater. It is not just Iranian nationals, Iranian dissidents, activists that they are targeting. They will also target Western politicians, Western journalists.
Matthew Dunn is a former agent for MI6. He believes Iranian operatives themselves are carrying out the work in the UK, as well as others.
People are simply contracted to do the job. Other terrorists, it could be criminals even, individuals who are paid to do the dirty work. Iran is becoming more desperate, and as a result of that, it's more likely to take ever more aggressive actions.
These plots are not one-offs, but ongoing, and not just against individuals, but organisations. One of several assassination attempts on an independent Iranian broadcaster forced it to shut down its London headquarters this year and relocate entirely. They've had to change how they live, how they operate. The director of news has round-the-clock security and no contact with his family in Iran for their safety too.
That I can't continue my life as I used to do it. Threat is continuing as we had before. The only difference is that right now we are in a safer place.
Are you scared?
Yes, I can't say no. They think that they can do whatever they want here in UK, but there's no other choice. We should continue what we are doing as a journalist.
Suspicion is therefore rife among the Iranian community here in Britain, with the Islamic Republic's appetite for these attacks increasing. And wherever the Iranian diaspora is, these agents and operatives will infiltrate.
Lucy, you've been documenting the plight of Iranian dissidents in Europe and further beyond. But I guess watching your report, people will be shocked at the extent to which Iranian agents are able to operate on UK soil and threatened, communities here. And what's been done about it?
Well, there is a massive concerted effort, Raggy, between all UK security agencies and specialist law enforcement like counter-terrorism and also foreign security services. But there is at least one kidnap, assassination plot here every month. Now, in a rare move tonight, we have in fact had a response from the Islamic Republic describing itself as a transparent state, committed to its obligation, according to international law, not to interfere in the internal affairs of another country. Now, to me, it seems that the British government is playing a long game with Iran. Number 10 is fully aware of the threat to safety and security here in the UK from Iran, but we're falling short of prescribing the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps as a terrorist group. That's what America has done. Now, the IRGC is Iran's religious military force, and the Foreign Office told me recently that their control is absolute, politically, militarily, economically. So there is no talking, if you like, that can be done without them. So making them a terrorist organisation renders any negotiation or diplomacy virtually impossible. And we must remember at this point that there are around 10 British-Iranian dual nationals currently in jail in Iran. So what our preferred approach thus far has been is to impose tough sanctions on around 350 Iranian individuals and entities. But if there is no hardline tactics, if they're not in place, then Britain looks like a soft target, Raggy.
That's a really good story. Thank you very much indeed.